Today, we're checking out the Soundpeats Air3 Deluxe, which are kind of a direct competitor to these guys over here, which are the AirPods Pros, which come in at $129.99, or for the Gen 3, $179.99, compared to $49.99. So, how do these stack up to these, and is it worth buying affordable earbuds? We'll find out in today's review. Just a quick disclaimer, Soundbeats did send this out to me for a quick review. However, that will not bias my opinion in any way, shape, or form. So let's get these guys opened up. Here's the front of the box. Here's one of the sides. Here's the other side. Here's one more side. There's the bottom and the top. Just is a slide open, which I always like. And then you're greeted with the earbuds. And then underneath that, you've got some documentation if you care. And then in here, you've got the USB-C cord for charging. So pretty straightforward so far. So let's get these guys powered up. So we're just gonna open them on, and it just says pairing when it does that. And then if we go back over to my Bluetooth section, as you can see, it came up immediately with Soundpeats. So I click that. In my ears, it says pairing successful, connected. Now I'm gonna go into some music. They get very, very loud. So I tend to keep my volume pretty low. At most, I tend to go to 50%, but tend to stick around the 25% range. You can remove one earbud, which will pause it. So I'll do that, and it paused right there. Put it back in my ear, and it just resumed. So really quick, pause and resume. Paused, resumed. You also have tap control, so if you press it once, it'll volume up. If you press it down once, it'll do volume down. Double tap the right earbud or the left earbud, it'll pause, which is really quick. It'll also give a little ding. And to show you this really fast, if I have my phone up right here, very quick. If you hold it, it'll skip forward. And it'll also beep when that happens. And then if you're wanting to go backwards, you just hold the other one, and it'll go backwards. If you're wanting to activate Siri, you just triple tap. So 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit delayed, but that's not too bad. That tends to be the case when I'm trying to activate Siri on really anything other than AirPods. The touch controls in general are actually really responsive, where I haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. It is one of those that when you're trying to put it in your ear, you really need to make sure that you're grabbing it by the stem, because if you're not grabbing it by the stem, sometimes you can activate that button. I do find these to be incredibly comfortable. I am lucky enough that most earbuds tend to fit my ears really well anyways. If you're one of those that have tried AirPods or similar and they fall out of your ear, then these are probably going to be the same thing. But if you find AirPods to be comfortable, then these are probably going to be comfortable as well. It is one of those that I just think the generalized design of these is very comfortable. There is a mic right there, and then there's also a mic right here for the phone calls and stuff like that. And then it's got a very smooth but very plastic-like covering. You've got a little bit of an air vent right there, and then you've got your normal speaker grill right there. On the bottom, you have your charging pads, and then it does indicate right or left, and then that's the actual touch control right. You are able to do either left or right earbud listening, so I'm going to just test that out really quick for you so you can see how well or how poorly that works. So we've got our earbuds in the case. We're not actually connected to anything on our iPhone. So if I open this guy up and I put this in my ear, it was already connected. So it is very quick to connect. And then if I start playing, it's one of those that I can hear stuff in my right earbud. So now I'm going to take it out of the earbud case and put it into my ear, and it's already connected. So it's really, really quick to reconnect to either of the buds. And then if I wanted just to hear the left one, I can take that guy out, put it in the case, and I still have music playing in my left earbud right now. So definitely they absolutely nailed the connection. A lot of them, even more expensive earbud, like significantly more expensive earbuds, are not that good. I've got the Liberty 3 right here. I've got the AirPods Pros right here. I have the Jabra Elite 7 Pro right there, and then I have some Marshal ones as well. So I've tried a lot of wireless earbuds, and these are definitely on the upper echelon and at the cheapest that I've tried. I've been able to wear these guys for hours at a time without any problems. They do have 5-hour battery life per bud, with 17 in the case, with 22 hours of battery total. So not the best on the market, but not terrible. I haven't worn these 4 or 5 hours straight, so I don't know how close to that is, but I have worn them for 3-ish, and they still had battery life. So I would say that the battery is good. They're also very comfortable, where I was able to wear them that entire time without any discomfort. Moving on to the next test that I like to do is, do they support hot swapping, or what I consider to be hot swapping. You can only be connected to one device at a time, so you cannot be connected to two devices at a time, which is something that more expensive earbuds or AirBuds either support, or it's one of those that they're able to hot swap quicker. So one of the easiest ways to do this is if you go into your other Bluetooth, whatever it's already connected to, and you go to disconnect, is that the earbuds automatically go directly into pairing mode, literally super quick. So let me just show you how fast that is. You disconnect, it says disconnected, pairing right off the bat. That's how fast that is. And then I can go over here and you can see that it came up with the Soundbeats, and I can connect there. Pairing successful is what it says, and connected. As you can see, it's connected. And then over here, however, if I go over to the Soundpeats, I'm pretty sure I keep saying that wrong, so I apologize. But if I click that, it'll just spin forever, and then it'll say not connected, which is unfortunate. So to get around that, what I've figured out that you have to do is if you take one earbud out, which is a little frustrating, and then you hold that button down, it'll say disconnected, pairing, and then it'll go into the pairing mode, and then you can go over here, and I can click the SoundPeats Air3 Deluxe, and then it'll connect over here. And then you just put this guy back in your ear and you're good to go. So they've made it relatively easy, but it's not as easy as some of the other guys, such as my normal AirPods. So if I take these guys out and I put them in my ears, so we'll test these out on the AirPods just to show you how those work. So it's one of those, I just put them in my ears. And now we're connected, so that took a little bit longer than I would like. And then if I go over here and I just select AirPods, it'll switch on over. Which does take a little while, but at least it's one of those that it does everything by itself. These are Gen 1 AirPods though, so if I go over to my AirPod Pros, which have the H1 chip in them, we'll see how quick those connect. So if I pull those out, put that in my ear. Right there it comes up and it says AirPod Pros are connected right there, so pretty quick. And then if I come over here, it's connected to both of them technically. So at this point I can easily just switch over, and then I'm switching back over, so it's a lot faster. And it's one of those that, like on my Mac, I can also have it where it'll auto switch anytime I'm getting close to something. So that is something that you are paying for with the AirPods that you don't get with the Air 3 Deluxe. If you happen to be in Apple's ecosystem, if you're not in Apple ecosystem, then it doesn't matter. So let's go over how these guys right here feel. So the case itself is incredibly shiny, which I don't like at all. I would have preferred more of a matte coloring just because I think this particular glossy finish is, one, very slick in my hand. So it's one of those that it picks up smudges like a freaking boss. Seriously, you can't really tell it on my camera, but it is smudge central over here. It also makes me worried about possible scratches of you just having it in your pocket. So it's one of those. Not a fan of the glossy finish. I think it only comes in one color, which is black as well. The button itself, it feels really fine to press, and then the button, the green light will come on and tell you different stages of how much battery. It doesn't have wireless charging or fast charging, so that's something you are paying for when you get more expensive earbuds. And then when we look at the weight, they are incredibly lightweight, so that's 36 grams. Where the first gen AirPods are 46, AirPod Pros are 56. They're incredibly lightweight at about 4 grams, which tends to be about 2 grams lighter than everything else that I've tried over here. These guys are 4 grams as well, and then everything else is closer to about 8 grams, with these guys coming in at the heaviest, so definitely very lightweight. On the bottom, you've got USB-C charging, which is appreciated. The actual joint over here is really good. I like that they have kind of this Soundpeats logo over here with a very nice hinge. It's one of those, it's pretty light, and it snaps shut pretty satisfyingly. It's not anywhere near, it's not quite as satisfying as either one of the AirPods. They just nail it for that. But it is definitely above average, and I really like it. It's easy to open with one thumb and close, and then pulling the earbuds out themselves is also a pretty satisfying experience. It's one of those, they do have magnets in there, so even if they open in your bag, that's not coming out. Even though they feel really lightweight and the plastic can come across as a little bit cheap, Nothing about the build quality here gives me any concern because they are just solid, which tends to not be the case when I'm talking about other earbuds, especially affordable earbuds. There's more, even expensive ones can come across as really cheap, but these guys do a really good job at coming across as pretty premium for the price. With them having a similar design as the AirPods, it's one of those that, as you can see, they go into your ear, but they don't actually create a seal. So when they're in your ear, you can easily still hear everything that's going around you. So you can have situational awareness, which I really like. So you can be listening to your music while you're out and about and still be aware of your surroundings. However, the downside about that is that you have to listen to your music a lot louder to overpower environmental sounds, which can be really bad for your hearing in the long run, which is why I prefer active noise canceling headphones that actually create a seal, because you can listen at a lower level, which saves your hearing in the long run. Going into the case size, I would say that they are right there in the average of the upper tier, because all of these cases that you have right here are some of the smallest cases that I've seen. These guys feel really good to use and very similar to all of these, which come in at least 2 to 5 times the price as these guys. So that's really saying something. These guys all do feel a little bit more premium, but not justifiable for the price increase. One thing that is really unique to these though is that they do have a game mode. And then if you triple tap the left earbud 3 times, so 1, 2, 3, it'll say game mode, which makes the latency around 60 milliseconds compared to a bit higher than that, which is really awesome. Some other performance tips of lip sync. In general, when I was on my mobile devices, it did just fine as it synced up with the lips. However, when I was watching it on my Apple TV, the lip sync was completely off, and I would notice that sometimes it would just get completely off, where with the more expensive guys, that tends to not happen because I have a little more fancy tech inside them to allow that to be better. And last but not least, we're going to be going into the sound quality. The sound quality is definitely above average for these types of earbuds that don't have a full seal, because it's one of those, anytime that happens, your bass isn't going to be as good, because most of the time good bass comes from creating a seal inside of your eardrum. With these not creating a seal inside of your eardrum, the bass isn't going to be as good as some of the other guys that you come into contact with. But with that said, the bass with similar types of these, such as the AirPod Pros, the bass is a lot better on this guy than it is on this guy. Additionally, I found mids and highs to be pretty good. The highs, depending on your preference, can come across as a bit harsh. However, it's one of those that I think that's needed because the low end is so impactful on these guys. If you didn't have the highs at a kind of a harsh range, they would feel really dull. And then the mids are pretty good as well. It's nothing that's going to be like completely blow your socks off, but I think for $50, these guys sound really good. And I would actually say they sound better than my Gen 1 AirPods. My AirPod Pros and the rest of these guys sound better than these, but for the price, these guys sound very, very good, and I don't think anybody's going to be really that disappointed with the sound quality. I'll also do a quick mic test that I'll throw in right here. This is going to be a quick test to see the microphone quality on the SoundPeats Air3 Deluxe, so let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do these guys sound pretty good or not? Doing a really quick direct comparison to the AirPods and these guys, obviously the case is going to be very similar. You're going to be using Lightning on these guys compared to USB-C. When you open it up, they're going to open the same way. They're going to pull out the same way. You're able to use one or the other bud on either one of these guys. Obviously, these guys work better for Apple, where these guys will work on Apple and Android just fine, along with anything else with Bluetooth, as some of the functionalities aren't there when you get outside of Apple's ecosystem with the AirPods. Battery life is going to be very similar between these two. The Gen 1s go, or actually the Gen 2s for these go for $129.99, or $179.99 for the new Gen 3s, which are a bit similar to the AirPod Pros, but instead of having the tips here, it is just the same ear tip design as these guys. The sound quality probably for the Gen 3s is going to be better than the sound quality for these, because most people are saying that the sound quality for the Gen 3 AirPods are better than the AirPod Pros because they've got some newer tech inside them. You're not going to be getting active noise canceling with either one of these guys. Both of them are going to allow environmental noises between them and are great for workouts. Both of them have IPX4 ratings. So basically what I'm saying is the differences between these two are pretty much just price. As the cons of buying this guy over this guy, I really can't think of too many things that you're gaining from this other than the quick pairing if you happen to be in Apple's ecosystem, and it's switching over to different devices without you having to go into pairing mode. And honestly, that's about it. So I definitely think this would be more bang for your buck than these guys. If you have any questions about these guys, let me know in the comment section down below. In the end, the price to performance ratio for these guys is absolutely insane. These things are fantastic and really blew my expectations out of the water. I can see why a lot of people really like these guys and definitely highly recommend them if you're looking for affordable earbuds. Yes, there are some benefits to going with a little slightly more expensive earbuds, but if you're looking for something that's just easy, that'll get you by for 95% of situations without any issues, these are definitely your guy. You will find an Amazon Associates link in the description down below if you are interested in picking these guys up. And if you do, I would love to hear your thoughts on them and if you like them as much as I do, or if I was completely off base in my review. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like this. Otherwise, I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.